A few exercises about how to relieve pressure or tension off your back. Remember, I'm not a doctor, I'm gonna be just a coach in wellness. I'm gonna be teaching you a few exercises how to relieve and relax a little more the tension on your back. Alright, this is routine, it's actually for a general back that probably feels stiff from sitting too long, being in the sofa too long, watching all those series, how you call Bang Gang, the sessions, all the series. Or sometimes actually it could be your back is stiff or overdoing it. Like sometimes I catch myself by Wednesday, Friday, by Friday, my back starts to feel a little tight. And I'm not be actually sitting alone, it's just whatever the position I am, I've been doing a little too much. And that's what we call conditioning of the body, especially when you do landscaping or when you do gardening and when you do a lot of activities where it requires you bending your back and forth. Or when you just exercise too much. So it could be either way, very sedentary or overdoing it and your body is not conditioning completely for that specific activity for that long. So I do it anyway. Hey Sean. So this routine is going to be basically just to kind of give you some advice how to release the tension, okay? And then there is an area where the spine is going to be attached. It's attached to your lower area of your body, and those attachments is what we call the pelvic floor. And in the pelvis area, this is your pelvis right here. So, and based on my education, which is Pilates, we work a lot in your pelvic floor. Alright, so this is attachment that go from your diaphragm towards your lower legs, and there are a couple muscles there that connect. The area is called the flexors and the psoas. Alright, those two muscles, they are engaged a lot, and sometimes we're overusing it, and when we're sitting too long, we flex it that much, then actually we're causing the pain of the back. How does happen? Because when you flex the flexor, that's what's called flexors, because the purpose of the flexor is to flex the hip to move forward, and that flexion, you see when here I flex my flexor. This position sitting, alright, flexes a lot, it attached to your psoas, and the psoas is attached to the L4 and 5, and that's where the pressure of the back, it gets very, very common. Alright, so again, this routine, it won't really diagnose how to get back free pain, but it will help you a little bit how to improve some of your stiffness on your back. Alright, so let's get about to start. So we're gonna, the first part of the session. Hey Petro. Hi Petro. Yasu. So this so we're gonna start in different positions. We're gonna be from kneeling to sitting. From sitting, we're gonna be on your back. Okay. So Mama is here too. Mama speaks Greek, by the way. She's okay with in English, but she's very good in Greek. You find out. I don't know why. She goes too much to Greece. All right, here we go. Kneeling position. This is your first part of the section. Okay. Your kneeling position. If your knees are too tender for being kneeling, you can use a pillow, alright? And that might help, right? I'm gonna be okay because I'm in very nice soft floor. So here, let me see if I can get a little more high. Good, here we are. We are kneeling here, so we're gonna be working now on the frame. So we're gonna work it first and your tilt and pelvic exercise. So basically we do this also in the cat stretch. So it's about tilting your pelvis. When you start to tilt your pelvis, you notice your body, your shoulders not really moving. It's basically very isolation, and you waking up the muscles around. We talk about your flexors and the psoas. The key in this session today is about extend the flexors, right? That's what we're gonna be the most today. I'm gonna be doing a lot of exercises where most of the time what we're going to be doing is extending your flexor, right? So this is your first exercise. Simply that, flexor extension, right? So tilt in and out. So you can practice this for about maybe 45 seconds, right? And then we're gonna talk about the breathing in a second, right? So this is the mechanic first, in and out, right? Depending your comfort or your pain, you might see how intense you go with this. I try to avoid too more hyperextension, just turn a little pelvis in and out. Good. Then from here, we're gonna work in one of my favorite exercises to release tension on your back. We're gonna be in lunge position. All right, we're gonna be a little bit on the diagonal. So from here, we're gonna bring the one foot to the front. Let's say my left foot is over to the front. All right, good. So now I'm in the lunge position. All right, this is the lunge position. And you can see, and you're gonna do this often in your warriors. The idea is to extend the flexor. All right, good. So there are a few things we're gonna talk about this position. All right. First of all, extend your hip with the flexor. Right. Now it's very important your foot on the back. It won't work if actually it's flexed, because when it's flexed, you don't put the extension on your flexor. But when you put your foot facing down, all right, so you're gonna see, you're gonna press, like imagine you're gonna push with your front part of your foot to the ground, put a tension there and press it. That's the first thing you're gonna do. While you're doing that, you're gonna see how your glute engage. So you're gonna be aware about you engage your glute. From there, you're gonna see how you're gonna now slide forward and drive to the front. Wow. All right, good. So we have done 3 things already. Press your foot down, then engage your glute, and we drop you forward. All right, and then you're gonna try to now pull your stomach in. I know it's hanging there. You're gonna pull it in and raise your chest. All right, those are the things we're gonna put it together. Let's release and come back. Let's do it again. Press your foot down, engage your glute, drive to the front, pull your stomach, and that's it. Now let's combine this with your breathing, which is very, very important. I know you're breathing while you were breathing when you were doing this, but let's do the right breathing. All right, let's go back. Press the feet down, engage your glute. You're gonna inhale, hold your breath, and then go back and exhale. Much different. Let's do it again. Press, engage your glute. Breathe in. Keep going. I want to feel it different when you add the breathing. Do it again. One more time. Press your foot down, engage your glute. Breathe in, hold the breath. And release. All right, let's try again with the other leg. All right, good. So when I did my right flexors, all right, that's my strong side myself. So my right side usually is my side that gets a little more tight. With various person to person, as we know. All right, let's try now with the left flexors. All right, we come over here. Be sure you gotta be really, really stable. I give you a view from the front and now. All right. So here, it doesn't work very well because you have to deal with too much balance. So the best way to do, you're gonna separate more your feet side to side. So more separation. As more base you have in your separation, you're gonna have more stabilization and balance, and you can focus what are the purpose of the exercise without dealing too much with your balance. So here we go, we try again. Good. We know step by step. Press down your foot, press, engage your glute, breathe in, slide, and release. Do it again. I like to hold the breathing for the very beginning while I press my foot. Here we go. Three more so we balance it to the other side. And release. Using about 6 to 10 repetitions of those will be a big deal already. Okay. Now, remember what I said, the breathing is very important. I don't want to get too much in the technique of the breathing, but the reason we do the breathing in is because when you inhale, so what you're going to do is relax your diaphragm, right? So when you inhale in, you relax your diaphragm, you tense your lungs, all right? That your ribcage get tight, and then your diaphragm releases. And when you release your diaphragm muscle, all right, that's the one that is relaxing also the flexors. So you don't want to put tension already, okay, good. And also start to work in your air around your breathing. So you're going to start to work in your air between the separation of the spine. And that's what we're going to be upright. So it's like if somebody's pulling your head up and then you separate your spine. You have to be sure there's a lot of liquid between your vertebrae, all right? And that's nutrition. That's what we're trying to do, the breathing. And again, I repeat, we are breathing while we're moving. It's just when to breathe in and when to breathe out. That's your next level of execution on wellness, all right? So now we're gonna work in again in one more movement from here, right? So here we go. So we're gonna do the child's pose, which we know this one before. Good. You start first, remember your tilt, in and out, it's the same thing. This is what you were doing here, the same tilt, but now you are on all fours. All right, that's your all fours. What we're trying to do from here is trying to get some mobility on your lumbar area, which usually that's the tight part. The reason it's very tight usually because we talk about the L4, L5 and your psoas, and also the disc and the bottom part, they are thicker than the top part. And then it's very hard to separate because they are too thick, all right? So here we go, just in and out. Good. And this one, very easy to execute, all right? That's a child's pose, in and out. Good. And then you can do the full child's pose where you go back, all right? Child's pose. And again, imagine somebody's pulling your hand forwards, all right, and you shift the hip back, all right? Depending how flexible you are on your hips, you'll be allowed to shift the weight towards your feet, and as more you do that, you separate more your spine, okay? Good. So look for the separation of the spine. That's your child's pose. You can actually, there are some variations of that. Let's say your right thigh is very tight, so you move your arm to the opposite side. So we'll be here. So look at my right hand, goes over the left. Then I switch, all right? Great, and release, all right? So that's another great exercise. We know that one just pop, but you can play with that, the dominant side, shift the hands over to one side, and you can see. I got one more exercise, kneeling, all right? So this one, I like it. It's called the tailbone exercise. So here, you are in the same all fours. So watch it here. Actually, I'm gonna do it this way. So I'm gonna pick my foot without lifting the knees. So just keep the knee down. The knees are not moving. So just lift one foot, all right? Then from here, what you're gonna do, you're gonna look towards the toe, and then shift on the other side of the shoulder, look for the same foot, and just keep going back and forward. Now remember the breathing, start again. Preparation, breathe in, and exhale. Breathe in through the center, and exhale. And just keep repeating back and forward. Good. Let's try the other hip. So again, the idea is to move your vertebrae from your lumbar area. When your foot come up, the flexor is gonna start to extend it, and then you shift the tension off of your lower back on one side, and then the other side. All right, good. Let's try again. All fours, lift, and then look back. All right, let's do this for about 45 seconds. You don't have to see me. Keep going. Out the breathing. And just keep going back and forward. Alright, good. That was 45 seconds, right? So that was my kneeling exercises, right? How's it feel? Are we doing okay? Next part, we're gonna be on your stomach, right? So that's what we call prone position. I'm gonna lower a little bit more. Good. Alright, so here we go. From here, we're gonna stay halfway down. Alright, this is called the cow sniff position, and here it's like a very low extension on your back. Alright, this is could be very tricky because again, I talk about exercises where your spine is in a healthy condition, just feel very stiff. This exercise might work for you depending on the back condition that you have. Alright, but let's say you just wake up with a stiff back, this might work for you. Assume your spine is pretty healthy. Alright. So here we are. So basically again, what we're doing, we're extending your flexors, okay? So we are extending your back, and the flexors are coming with your spine. Also, your core muscles, because when we are sitting too long, remember when we're sitting too long, the body crunches, all right? So this is where we are a lot. We have poor core, and then the stomach is flexing with your flexors. So those muscles also, they're very tight. So we're doing the opposite. We're gonna stretch those abdominal muscles. So here you are. And you don't have to overdo it. Just take a few seconds and then work in your breathing technique. All right, here we go. Inhale and exhale, make it set longer. Right, do it again. Just keep a few of those. Hey, Caroline. Hey, Joanna. Natasha, you made it. And remember, when I talk about breathing, there is a reason we do it. The breathing is for relax the diaphragm. All right, so here we go. All right, now, is your body responding pretty good and you want to extend a little bigger, you're going to put your hands a little closer to the ribs and you slowly come up and you're going to stay a little longer. And again, if this is too intense, your back won't allow you to do this, just keep it low, all right, the sniff position. Now you want to actually keep the arms more straight, and then you can keep the arms straight, you can actually put your hands a little closer to the ribs. That might be a little too intense for you, so remember, we don't want to overdo it, we're just trying to improve your back, stiff back. And then release. All right, good? Very nice. Let's try one more time. And again, remember, you can do just the elbow. It's like you are here with a book, and you just reading your book back and forward, all right? Very nice. One more exercise when you're here on your stomach. We're gonna add some rotation on your pelvic. This could be a little tricky. So it's called the scorpion. So what I'm gonna keep my head down. Listen carefully before you start. You're gonna raise one leg. I'm gonna pivot without moving my elbows or chest. And then you're gonna go back, lift the second leg, and try to rotate more or less. Where is your limit? If your elbows come up, you're going too far. All right, let's do it again. One leg at a time. And then start to slowly rotate without lifting your elbows and keeping your chin in the center between your shoulders. Nice and smooth. Don't need to go fast. We're not going anywhere, right? So be patient. and recover back. Good. Let's sit. And we just finished. All right, you see how we start? We start sitting, then from sitting, we start kneeling. From kneeling, we end it on your stomach. So we're just doing the same movements basically in different planes body position. Okay, good. Now the next exercise is basically the same child's pose. We're gonna do it in round back. All right, so you're gonna bring your arms under, round your spine, and then sit upright position. And again, it's the same child's pose. Round your back, let it open your vertebrae, and then come back. Do it again. Exhale, and then inhale. Do it again. Exhale, and inhale. I will do this for about 45 seconds. Round your back, tuck in, and then be sure you reset. Open the chest with a lot of separation between the ears and your shoulders. Do it again. Okay, let's try it one more time. Good. Now you're gonna end on your back and you're gonna bring one knee with you. All right, good. I will put the under. Try to relax your shoulders and head will be down. This is what you're gonna do. You're gonna pull and then release again. So come under your knee, pull your leg, and just release. Again, this exercise is to work in your stabilization on your flexor. So it's basically what we call reacting stretching. So you put tension on the flexor and then you just release. Pull the flexor and then release. So you're activating the muscles and then the pain, it will keep fading down. Good. Then from here, trying to keep it 90 degrees. Very careful with this one. You're gonna drop the knee to one side. 45 degrees is plenty. So I'm gonna go a little farther back without lifting my shoulder from the ground. How's that feel? Okay. Now we start to get a little more the complex on your glutes. All right, you're gonna feel the activating some weight. And again, we try to work in your mobility in your spine from the lower area. If you can do this with the leg straight, that's where you start to get a little more of the activate. Good. Back to the center and release. Let's switch that with the second leg. So here we go. So you're gonna bring your knee, drop your head. So relax and pull it. Relax and pull. I'm working also on my breathing during the exercise. So breathe in and exhale. And remember, you want to breathe, sure that your exhale is a little longer. Then bring your knee to the other side. And again, depending on your stiffening, how far the shoulders go, you want to keep your shoulder down. You want to be gentle and then bring the leg straight. Good. Recover back. Then we're going to do the rocker. Right, so the rocker is very nice, gentle massage. So you're going to keep working again and just keep going side to side. Alright, we're going to do a couple more exercises while you're on your back. You're going to bend your knees and we're going to do the same tuck in and out, which is a bridge. Alright, so the bridge is a great exercise to extend again. You extend your hips. But the benefit of this, you recruit muscles in your glutes, and then that's when you start to get your strength on your spine from the lumbar muscles. And then release. The way I release, I'm gonna roll my back from the top to the bottom. Good, this is very important. Again, Tilt in, then gonna bring it up, extend the flexor, hold it, then from here, from the upper back, you're gonna pull your stomach, and then one vertebra at a time to recover all the contact that go from the mid-back to the lumbar area, to my tailbone. Let's try one more time. Tilt first, bring it in, extend the flexors, and then come back again, release, and again. Good. Now this is one of my selling points. This is stretching. We're gonna put your foot on top of the knee and bring your knee towards the same direction to the floor. And this is again, this is my right side. That's my stiff side myself. Wow, that feels great for me. And again, be sure you tolerate properly. It's a feel really, really good. We are in the same direction. It's actually rejecting. Guess what? We don't do it, right? Then we do the other side, okay? I'm going a little quick in the session because I wanted to give you so much information. Notice I didn't move my frame. I just work in my mobility on my tailbone going back and forward. Now if your back is very stiff, the way you're gonna get up, you go from the side and then you come up. Versus trying to get up from the front. If your back is very, very stiff. And you can practice this for even when you get up from your bed, okay? Remember that when you get in and out, so you come here, you roll off, and then come up, and that's probably the best, easy way to get up from the floor, all right? How is it feeling, guys? Good, you see how we work from sitting, from kneeling, from sitting. I got one more thing I like to do before we finish. It's your thoracic area, it's your upper back, all right? So your upper back. So we were talking about a lot of flexors, psoas, all right? This area, but guess what? The thoracic, which is are the teeth, they are very, very important. When your thorax is very stiff, it's gonna reflect the rest of your vertebrae. So we're gonna be sure that the upper back gets some attentions as well, all right? So typically you are allowed on your phone, like we often were doing, or you are allowed on your laptop, so you look at what's happening with your upper back. First, weak core, and then your upper back is start to get rounded. That round position on your back is locking your spine, and then you're gonna feel the fat all the way down to the lumbar area. So we need to work in your upper back area. So this is one of my favorites for my upper back. So you just can actually move your shoulders and retract back. Good, and then you just move forward, back and forward. All right, we're gonna pick one direction first, and look at what I'm moving. It's like a snake in my spine. So I'm trying to loosen up my upper back mobility. You see how my upper back moves. Then we're gonna go forward, all right? Good. Notice I'm not moving my hips. I'm doing all in my thoracic area. So a lot of the scapula is really engaged with this part, particularly the spine. Good, and then you breathe in and back, all right? So here we go. Retract and release, all right? And then you can start to make it bigger, all right? And you start to see how it's allowing you to move more or less. All right, and then back, forward, freestyle. All right, so here we go. In the end, you see how your spines get very freedom. You give a lot of freedom, and then moving all around, all right? You can try actually the size. The size is a great way to actually stretch your back. Ladder and move. And again, I went from a little lighter stretching, and this in the end, if your back is filled, this is just a test to see how your spine is responding good, because your spine is permanent. The positions on the spine is to flex, bend, extend, rotate, and ladder. That's what we call a healthy spine, right? And again, so hopefully those exercises help you to release tension on your back, okay? But remember, so one of the reasons we get a lot of tensions on the back is because the flexors are tight. It's pulling your psoas, which is attached to the back. That's one. So we're gonna stretch your flexors. So there are so many more exercises which I usually explain. Depending on my client, I'll give you some extra idea. I like also laying on your back, okay? So when your legs is straight all the way up, give you an example. So like this. That's another way to relax your spine and give you some time your spine to get more straight. Because then what happens? Your back is have a hard time to keep your back straight because the core muscles are weak. If the core muscles is weak, of course you're always going to have problem with your back because the purpose of the core is to keep your spine upright. So it's very, very important to keep in mind that you extend your flexor and maintain your posture. If you have a bad posture, guess what? You're always going to have a problem with your back because you keeping tight forward. So we should those two things: breathing, extend your flexor, and trying to keep your lumbar area with neutral spine, what we call the little S there. So, and that's where you keep probably less tension of your back. I could spend this session probably 2 or 3 hours workshop, but it's not the idea. So I just give you plenty information. Hopefully that work. Hey Jonathan, who has some work to do? Jonathan in the house. Just kidding. So so it's just some exercise. Remember, this is not for diagnosis to improve fix your back right away. And this is just to release tension of your back and